Big bad Livescope. That's right. So many people are talking so much trash about this Livescope. I'm gonna tell you what I think of forward-facing sonar. I'm gonna tell you what it's good for and what you need to be looking at. So let's look at it right here real quick. We're gonna look. I've got everything up here. I'm gonna just put this in standby. I'm gonna put the Humminbird. Don't even look at these. We're talking about this right up here. It's the LVS 34 Garmin. Whether you have active target or this, let me show you what it's good for. You're looking. These are bait fish right here. Big school of them swimming around. I'm scanning around. I'm seeing some standing timber around here. I'm gonna scan back around. Oh, there's another wad of bait fish. There's some fish down there. So the whole deal with Livescope is it's a live view. And with all forward-facing sonar is a live view. It's 1,000 kilohertz signal, so it's really fast. Got amazing detail on the feedback, something we've never had before up until a couple years ago. And what this means is that you can actually watch what the fish are doing down there on the bottom. Now, I was showing you before. I'm going to show you again, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Try to find some fish down here. So I'm just scanning all around. I'm taking that trolling motor up there, moving it around. Usually there's a lot of bait fish in here. There's not very much today. We'll go back up in here. There's a couple bait fish right there. See these soft signals right here? Those are just little puffs of bait fish. There's some up near the surface. Look at that right over there. But the whole thing with forward-facing sonar is that you can learn the fish's behavior. People think it's a video game. The fish don't sit in one place. You're gonna learn. You're gonna realize watching the forward-facing sonar that there is a big difference between what bass do, what crappie do, what striper do, what gizzard shad do, what threadfin shad do, what bluegill do. I have gone in the backs of pockets. I've gone in the, like in these deep channels, especially in the wintertime, and found these big giant wads of fish. I'm talking a couple hundred fish. Well, a lot of those are brim, giant schools of brim. They would be back in like these pockets, like we're back in the mouth of this pocket here. They would be in the mouth of these pockets right here. See these fish swimming up high in the water column? Those are not what I'm talking about. Those are active fish. Those are bait fish. Probably gizzard shad. And there's another wad of fish. You see, these are smaller. That looks more like threadfin shad. See, it's a real tight, almost looks like a little cloud as I'm kind of scanning around and looking at them. And there's another little wad of them up higher in the water column. I'm gonna look over there and see what's going on. Might have to catch a fish or two. But that's a school of gizzard shad. That might be an individual fish or two. But the whole thing is that you can watch. You can watch what the fish do. You can watch the way a bass reacts to your lure. If you can figure out that you're throwing at a bass and you can throw at it, you can see its reaction. We've never been able to do that before. You can't do that with 2D sonar, not even possible. So that, to me, is the biggest thing that you can do with forward-facing sonar is you can learn the fish, you can learn their reactions, you get to learn what they're doing when they're near cover. If you sit there and go to a good brush pile and just watch it in the summertime, it's gonna have all kind of fish on it. It's gonna have bass, it's gonna have crappie, it's gonna have catfish, it's gonna have all these different types of fish on it, and you can watch them, and after a while you start to figure out which one is which, and you can figure out which one's doing what. It is very, very interesting to be able to watch. And just because you see a fish or you don't see a fish, let's say you pull up to a brush pile and you don't see any fish with the Livescope, you throw over there and you catch one, that fish was probably on the far side. So it does not show you every single fish in the area. Largemouth are notorious for getting really tight to cover. Smallmouth will do that really tight to rocks and stuff, and they'll be impossible to see. But just to go back to the, you can see a couple fish down here. Now that's more like where a bass would be. And it's a little small group, looks like 3 or 4 fish. They're down there in 40 feet of water. It's winter time, you can see the water temperature is 45. Now there's some more bait fish over here. See this big school right there? That's those things sparkling and moving like that. That's thread fin, more than likely as big as they are. And as much as they're moving right there. We're just gonna scan around. See, here's a big, you gotta watch it for a second to make sure it's not just like some kind of weird return. I don't see it moving very much. That looks like it's just some kind of weird return, like it's part of this. Look at that. You can see that's a spring right there. That's wild. That's the kind of stuff you see with forward-facing sonar. You get to learn your lakes. You get to learn. Here's some fish around these trees over here. Bait fish over there. You get to learn what's going on in your lakes. It makes fishing new again. If you've been fishing for a long time, forward-facing sonar it's like a new toy. You just go out there and you get to learn more about the passion that you love. So don't be talking trash about forward-facing sonar. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it is changing some of the way that tournament anglers fish, but you know what? The whole world is evolving. If you think that we're going to get stuck in doing the same thing over and over again in the fishing world, you need to wake up. The rest of the world's moving on and evolving and letting technology take them to places and be more efficient, be more, be better. Just be flat out better at what you're doing. That's what we're doing with forward-facing sonar. You better grasp it, because there it is right there. Looking at the fish, trying to tell what they're doing. We're gonna move around, scan around, find other things. Ooh, there's some bait fish up towards the surface. I'm looking. A lot of times you'll see individual fish under these bait balls. That's when you know some action's going down. You best be tossing your little lure over there. There's a little something behind that one. I don't know if that's what we're looking for or not, but forward-facing sonar, it's here to stay. You might as well get to love it and get to learn more about the fish that are in the lakes.